Croatan and Dam Neck now to the resort area and the fishing pier there at 14th View, a big chunk missing out of the end of it. You know, we urge caution. Emergency officials are out and they're getting their damage. You know, they had a curfew for last night. Can't do much about people wanting to get out there ahead of them sometimes and do their exploring. So just be careful as you're out there. Let the professionals kind of do the work they need to do, like this person clearing sand and debris, it looks like, away from a walkway that takes folks from the boardwalk on down closer to the water. Those could, in fact, be bits of the pier that have washed up.
All right, John Massey, hold tight. We're going to continue to run your pictures so folks can get an idea of what's happening at the ocean front. But right now, joining us on the phone, Congressman Scott Rigell of the 2nd Congressional District, covering parts of Virginia Beach, Norfolk, and Hampton. Congressman, thank you for joining us this morning.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
What is your assessment of the damage and the impact of the storm to your district?
Well, it could have been worse. I don't underestimate, what individual families may be experiencing. Clearly widespread power outages, but the wind damage does appear to be less than what we had anticipated. I spoke with the mayor late last night. I spoke with the Emergency Operations Center this morning, and we'll be getting a more thorough update. I think the whole district, we're just trying to assess the damage and particularly what might have happened because of the extreme high tide.
Mr. Rigell, can you talk with us about the aid that is available, the monetary aid that's available by those things that we saw happen before the worst of the storm, when Virginia declared a state of emergency and when FEMA was also brought into the discussion? How have those plans made resources available, to your district and to much of our area?
Well, I want to applaud my colleague, Congressman Whitman, in the 1st Congressional District. He took the initiative to get this letter started to President Obama, asking that he would go ahead and declare a state of emergency, or rather, that allow these emergency funds to be available. The president approved that, and working closely with Governor McDonald, who's done an outstanding job, I think, in this entire challenge. He was here, physically here, in Hampton, Virginia Beach. I was with him in Virginia Beach and Norfolk, and Mayor Frame, Mayor Sessoms, spoke with Mayor Jack Tarr up in Chincoteague, which is also a beautiful part of our district. To a person, the mayors are just so pleased with how everyone cooperated at the state, the local, and the federal level. And if the funds are there with FEMA, so we'll just have to see. It's principally a local and a state initiative, but when we need that federal assistance, it'll be there.
And Congressman, in these tight budget times, you can anticipate still the request will come to maybe get some help from the federal level to rebuild the beaches, not only here in Virginia Beach, but also in Hampton. Do you see that maybe those requests for help to rebuild their beaches, or maybe add some protection, those requests will be answered?
Well, these are extraordinary times in America, borrowing 41 cents out of every dollar we're spending. But the money has been budgeted for FEMA, and we'll just have to go through the process that you're describing all morning long, which is to understand the damage and then set priorities among those, and get right back to work, to getting our community back to work. And we'll just take it one project at a time.
All right, always interesting arguments there over who should pay for that when it comes to beach replenishment, in terms of who should get taxed for that. All right, that is probably a conversation for another time, sir. We appreciate you joining us today. We're glad to hear that for the most part all is well in the 2nd District, and most Virginians have reason to count their blessings this morning if they survived this storm and did not have the deadly impact that we've seen it have in many places.
And Congressman Scott Rigell, thank you very much for your time.
And thank you.